Hey, this is Byron. I'm a YouTuber, and I always wanted to tell, before it's too late for me to say things like this, the story of my life, if you don't mind. I was a very poor person, me and my family, but my father worked every day. My mother took care of the kids. I lived in Markham, Illinois, and I have one brother, a great brother, and two beautiful sisters. And I was the youngest of four, and they treated me like the youngest. I pretty much hung out with my brother most of the time. Um, I'm gonna get to him in 1 second. And we lived in a house, a ranch house, and we had 3 bedrooms. My mother and father was in one room, my sisters in the other, and me and my brother was in the other room. And I had a cousin, first cousin, like a brother to me, named OJ. He helped raise me. So I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood. I stayed outside. I learned sports from them and my brother. Football on the streets and things like that, playing on the street, playing football. My brother taking me to basketball courts. And then I became kind of on my own when I became a teenager. I developed some friends. And to make a long story short, I got my first job at, I think, 16 or 17 at McDonald's. I was so happy to get my first job. You just don't know. Um, I used to, sometimes I had to walk to work. It was like about 5, 10 miles, I'm not sure, on 183rd and Kedzie. It was a McDonald's there. And I was just so happy I worked. I wanted to work overtime. I got a lot of this energy from my father. My father was a workaholic. And I just really wanted to work, become an independent. And then about 21 years old, something like that, I start to kind of go to the streets a little bit. My brother came and took me to Maine with him when he was in the Marines, and he protected me, and he taught me a little bit about life. I was still kind of young-minded. All I wanted was girls and things like that. That's all most teenagers want. And finally, I came back home, and I got a job at Foot Locker, and that's when my life really started. I begged the guy to give me a job at River Oak Shopping Center. Right now it's an indoor mall, but it was an outdoor mall then. And I worked real hard. I mean, I worked so hard. And he promoted me to assistant manager. His name was Greg McDougal. If you ever see this video, Greg McDougal, thank you. So I never really went to Chicago too much. So, long story short, they transferred me to I think Evergreen Plaza. Then I went to North Riverside. I was like a assistant manager there. And then I got my first store at 55th and Wentworth. If you know the area in Chicago, it's kind of a rough neighborhood, but that was my first store. And I did okay there. And then they promoted me to another manager at 35th and King Drive. And then I got to Evergreen Plaza. We used to call it Ever Black Plaza. The volume was so high, and I really learned how to be a manager. So one day, the manager walked up to me and said, the district manager walked up to me and said, Byron, you're not doing that good. And I got really scared because I hate to fail. I like being the best at everything I do. He said, but guess what? I'm promoting you to Harlem, New York, in New York City. I went and bought me a new car that night and drove all the way there the next morning. And I didn't do too well there because we used to have vendors on the street that made the volume of the store very high. They took the vendors off the street as soon as I got there, so we couldn't make our days. We was going against last year's sales. I could not make it because we had no tourists or we had no volume or anything like that. So he threatened to write me up. I never been rolled up before because I give 110% everything I do. I will not accept that. I said, well, let me give you my resignation. I quit because it's not fair what's happening to me, and I know I'm getting fired because I cannot make these weeks because they took the vendors off the street. He said, I know. He admitted that he was forced to write me up because we wasn't making our weeks, but he had no choice. So I said, well, let me drive back home where I'm safer in Chicago. So I came back to Chicago, and then Greg McDougal came through for me again. He became district manager of Kids Foot Locker in Evergreen Plaza. I said, Greg, I have no form of income. I have a house payment because my family kind of gave me the house, and I can't afford it. He said, well, guess what? I'm gonna hire you as manager of Kids Foot Locker in Evergreen Plaza. And he came through for me again. Long story short, I finally grew up, and there's a couple of, girls I want to recognize on this video. A lady named Sharita Shelton. That's the only girl I really ever loved. Um, and trying to see what happened after that. So I'm 30 or 40 years old. I'm done working at Foot Locker because I let that go. And then I'm not sure exactly what happened after that. Right now, I'm 62 years old. The Lord has got me through so much. I mean, he's brought me, and I'm doing pretty good right now at this moment. When I was in the 40s and 50s, I was pretty much working at the railroad, pretty much. Got a job at the railroad, and then I hurt myself, and I got Social Security disability for a while. Right now, I'm retired from everything. I'm getting a 1 month, my retirement check. But I'm a very good person. I learned about life, period, and the way you're supposed to live and things like that. Like I said, I started out very poor, and I still don't have a lot of money, but I'm a stockbroker, and I make a lot of money in the stock market and my retirement check. So I'm doing pretty well thanks to the Lord. Because I don't want to bore you with my whole life story every 10 years and things like that. But I just want to give people an idea of what the Lord can get you through. I never thought I could make it to this moment right now. I am a very religious person. I really have strong faith when it comes to the Lord, and I read the Bible every day. And I'm naturally a good person. I'm not controversial. I don't really get into it with anyone. I'll walk away. I'll say I'm sorry in a heartbeat. But with my two sisters and my brother and OJ, and the way my father and mother raised me, and with the Lord's guidance, I'm really a good person. And please give me your opinion about this video. I always want to do a video about my life story, but I want to make it short. And I want to thank everyone for supporting me, all the subscribers and viewers that I have. Give me your opinion about this video and comments too. And I just want to thank you guys. Thank God Almighty. And thank you, YouTube, for giving me the platform to make this video. And I'll see you guys soon. I just want to do a short version of my life story, so I can at least get it out there before. You never know. Tomorrow's not promised to no one. Thank you.